Assalamualaikum, Dr. Rodrigue Fontaine.
Walaikum salam.
There's a few questions regarding to your book that we want to ask. Could you please summarize briefly to us about Chapter 1?
Okay, so the book is called Islamic Management, the Power of Qur'anic Thinking. And so Chapter 1 is really about setting the framework for the whole book. So I give some definitions, I give a little bit about the thought process that led to the writing of the book. I talk a little bit about how what the book is trying to solve in terms of a problem. But I think what I'm really trying to show is that this is a book that is based on empirical research. There's a lot of books on Islamic management where people just take a few hadith or a few ayat of Quran and then that's it. But what I've been doing is actually over the last 10 years, I've done a lot of experiments with actually quite a lot of students, almost 3,000 students. A lot of these students were working adults. And then I've developed what I call the prophetic leadership model, which I think is actually able to solve a lot of the problems that exist at work today.
And could you elaborate more about the story of Ayman?
Okay, so one of the things that happened early on in my career is I had this student called Ayman, and he had a lot of problems, and I was his advisor, so I was trying to help him solve his problems, and I started using a conventional approach, and that absolutely did not work. And his situation was going from bad to worse. And this had gone on for over a year, and I was not really sure what to do. So I said, okay, maybe if he started watching Islamic videos, that would work. So we started watching Islamic videos together, and very quickly he started to change. And so I realized a few things. One is that a lot of his behavior problems were actually because of his confusions about Islam. That's the first thing. The second thing is watching. So he had very specific problems, and there was no way for me to know what his problems were. But by giving him the choice of choosing which videos to watch, he was actually able to solve his own problems. I was just there to kind of watch and facilitate, and after watching videos we would have a short discussions and so on and so forth. But after the Ayman experience, I came to the International Islamic University in Malaysia. Then I was curious to see whether what happened to Ayman would be replicated with my other students. So I started giving what I call the Islamic personality assignment, where students would watch videos once a week for the whole semester. They would have to write a diary on their reflections, and I saw a lot of changes in the behavior of my students, and they themselves they recognized that things were going very much better. So that was kind of the background to how I started getting into Islamic management.
And what is the problem that the book trying to solve actually?
So a lot of the problems that have to do with organizations today is basically the wrong corporate culture. So we have a lot of corporate cultures which are very based on self-interest, it's based on profit maximization. A lot of corporate cultures is based on some kind of fear. And so as a Muslim, what I want to do is look at how can we create a good Islamic corporate culture and then combine that with good management. So if you got a lot of good Muslims but bad management, it's not going to work. You got a lot of good management but the wrong corporate culture, the wrong values, it's not going to work. So this book is trying to say, this is how we develop the right corporate culture. These are the right management tools that we need, and together we can have this thing called the prophetic leadership model.
All right, that's all from us, Dr. Ridwan. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.